Jay-Z's former childhood friend and street partner Dehaven exposes him in an Instagram post titled, "This Can't Be Life Part 1, where he explained that Jay was allegedly involved in setting him up to get indicted. He posted a clip of the film In Too Deep, where LL Cool J's character realizes Omar Epps' character was an undercover cop the whole time. Dehaven writes, "This can't be life part 1. Shit starting not to making sense. My indictment papers say on or about 1988 to 1996, I conspired to sell and distribute crack cocaine, meaning the whole time the feds had me on their radar since my Trenton days. And it's now 1998. That's a whole 10 years. Jay been around me 90% that time. How could his name not come up at all? I read my whole case, thousands and thousands sheets of paper, and his name not come up once. 6 people testified against me. I did nothing but make all 6 of rich. Every one of them had a story to tell about all the coke I sold them. They spoke about everyone in my crew besides Jay, and don't get me wrong, Jay was popping at the time, meaning he would have been a much bigger fish to fry at the time. Both of my co-defendants got themselves an attorney and got a deal without telling on anyone. Put their heads up, poked their chests out, and stood 10 toes down. I had to respect that. The whole time I'm sitting in a federal courtroom fighting for my life, I'm thinking about how Jay looked me in my eyes and said that I didn't need to worry about anything, that he had me, and the whole time he was curving me. This can't be life part 2. Here I am by myself with no deal on the table and a court appointment attorney that's asking me, would I consider 20 years if he can get that deal? Not to mention the work I put in for Dame Dash to formulate Rockefeller Records. He didn't even throw me a lifeline either. For all I know, I'm fighting 2 conspiracies. One with government, and one with the very people I tried to help and protect. It was almost like Jay was being protected and the government focus was just on me. They wanted me so bad they superseded my indictment to make sure I don't see the light of day ever again if I got convicted. Through the whole ordeal I'm going through, Jay's starting to plant these little seeds in his music. Songs like It Was All Good a week ago, directed towards me. So now, the streets is watching. This was just to accept from the chapter, This Canty Life. Thank you for love and support on the Marcy Made documentary. Please keep sharing my story. It's free. It costs nothing to share. Book dropping spring 2024.
Brooklyn rapper and business mogul Jay-Z, real name Sean Corey Carter, former childhood friend Dehaven Irby, who ran the streets with Jay in the late 80s, early 90s, reveals his truth behind Jay-Z's song A Week Ago, featuring Too Short.
It was all good just a week ago.
Dehaven breaks down the song, pointing out facts in which Jay-Z lied, and gives his account on how it all went down. This video is sponsored by nightandaycbdhub.com. Make sure to click the thumbs up button, subscribe, and share this video.
Now we're going to get in to the story on what Jason talking about and the rest of the shit. Now this is where the story begins. Because as you see, on this song, he starts out with, we was definitely down together. We was, together, working together, whatever, hustling together, and it was all good. And he proceeds to say in this, say when the feds came and got him, if you listening closely to the lyrics, he said the feds came and got him, and we both, ran off and I got caught. Whatever.
The feds came to get me, we both fled quickly. Wasn't quick enough to jump over the hedges with me, got caught.
So be it. I mean, if that's the way he want to put it, that's cool, and that's maybe the way you have to say it. But it ain't go like that. So while I'm in Wake County, right, I'm waiting, I'm calling, I'm waiting to see what the get around is, right? And he mentions on his lyrics about a phone call. And he accepted a phone call, and he felt like it was something shaky in my voice. And
when he called collect and I heard his name, I quickly accepted. But when I reached the phone, he's talking reckless. I could sense deceit in his tone.
Or whatever. That shit is a lie. That shit is a lie. I tell you this. I was in Wake County I waited a few days to see what the pop-off is, just to understand the magnitude of what I'm going through. I met a nigga in there, dealt with some fed shit before, and he was telling me to get around and all this other shit. What was going on with me and what am I facing. So, after 2-3 days and shit, settled in, I started to reach out to Jay, right? I started to reach out to Jay. So First, I have my shorty call him. Niggas he not answering. He's, she not answering. He not answering. And you know how niggas get in the pen, right? When you in the jam, like, you trying to figure out what's going on. So you getting screaming on your shorty. Fuck me, he ain't answering. You call such and such. You call this one. And this one, this and that. And, girls go through a lot when this shit happen, man. Because the nigga put the press on them to take care of a lot of this shit. So, she like, babe, he, I can't get a hold of him or whatever. Woo. All right. So, I called Mama Love. I called my mom's. I said, Mom, I'm going to need you to call this nigga Moms and tell him I need to talk to him. Because it's dead up. It's serious. I need to talk to him. Mama Love. My moms know it. They friends, always been friends at that time, whatever. So, I called. My mom's on deck. So she called. She gave me a number. I called this nigga Moms. Right? I called his Moms. And this is what I say. I said, hey, Miss Glow, how you? She's like, fine. She said, what up? I'm like, nothing. I said, I'm in a little situation here. I'm trying to talk to Jay. So she was like, huh? What? I said, yeah, I'm in a little situation here. Nothing major. Just want to talk to Jay. I've been trying to get at him, trying to reach him and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's been to nothing. So she was like, well, where you calling me from? I said, I'm calling you from jail. Like, I'm locked up. So she says, okay, all right, I'll get him the message and hang up quick. That's the only person I talked to. And that was the only words that I said. Right? Keep that in mind now. That's the only thing I said. Because keep this in mind. So, meanwhile, I'm still in there, right? I'm still in there, right? So I'm in there. I still haven't heard from Jay. You know what I'm saying? So now I go into transit, right? You know what I'm saying? I go into transit, so I ain't really got time to chase this nigga around and woo, this and that and the third. Because I really don't know what's going on until I get to Maryland. So what's the use of even talking to him, trying this shit? But the fact of the matter, he ain't responding to this shit, you know what I mean? That got me tight. So now I go in transit. They take me from, they actually threw me out of Wade County because I was causing havoc in there. You know what I'm saying? I was causing havoc in there. So I went to Wade County. I went from Wade County to Wilson County. Wilson County was where the bus come and drop, pick you up. I got to Wade County. They already knew the reputation that I had coming from. When I got to Wilson County, they already heard about what I had going on in Wade County. So they was already, when I got to Wilson County, this was 98. These jails was like Mulberry and Andy Griffin, like these little towns and shit. You feel me? Wilson like that. So they had a little small jail, and I'm like, no TV. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to be able to stay in here. You know what I'm saying? The police was like, nah, you good. You know what I'm saying? They gave me some food from outside, and in the newspaper, they said, yo, you're only going to be here for 24 hours. The bus be here to take you to VA. I said, I'm like, cool and shit, you know what I mean? So I'm laid back in there. It was two twins. It was two twins in there at the same time that killed the state trooper. Them niggas was facing life in there. And I'm listening to them niggas cracking jokes and shit in the next cell. That shit was crazy. So meanwhile, bus come. I catch the bus. They ship me out to VA. What is that shit? FCI Petersburg, right? That's where I landed at. FCI Petersburg. Now, we talking weeks now. I still ain't hearing from Jay and nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? At all. From nobody. And let me start saying, I ain't heard from Jay. I ain't heard from Dame. I ain't heard from nobody. And I say these names because these are all the people that I pretty much looked out for. And I'm just trying to see, how they handling shit, when I need it, when I'm in need. But Jay specifically. So I get to Petersburg. When I get to the Fed joint in Petersburg, that's when shit starts to, you get to talk to people. Even though people don't want to talk. Rule 1, they tell you, a dude told me straight up as soon as I got in here, he said, man, don't talk to nobody about your shit when you get in here. He was like, don't talk to nobody. I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep to self, but I really don't have nothing to say because I don't know what they want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they pick me up. Them niggas be lying to you. So I don't know why they pick me up, right? So I can't tell nobody about nothing. All I know is they pick me up and they want me back in Maryland. So I'm quiet and shit, playing my part. And once I got out on the basketball court, like once I got on that basketball court out there, I showed out, right? And that shit brought attention to me, right? Because I gave it to niggas, dunked on a few niggas. I was, on some shit. And anywhere you go where you shoot some ball and shit, and especially in there, they got their little teams and shit. And they gonna be on you. Niggas gave me sneakers, everything in there and shit. Because I was playing in Bobos. If you know what Bobos is, niggas will tell you what that is if they've been in there. So I'm sitting in there, SCI Petersburg and shit, and I'm talking to a jailhouse lawyer now and shit, right? The jailhouse lawyer telling me, yo, keep quiet around here. That is nothing that you're gonna know until you get up there. So he busting a move down to me and shit, what's going on. So I'm cool with that. Then I meet another nigga and shit in there. And he tell me what I'm about to really go through. Forget this FEDS shit now. Like, he telling me, get my mind right, because I'm told him, say, yo, my destination is Baltimore. And when I told him that nigga was like, yo, get all the rest you can while you here. Get the sleep, the good rest, the food, get all that shit while you here. Because when you get up there to Baltimore, city jail, this is where they was keeping niggas at, fed niggas at down there, city jail. So, boom. From Petersburg, bus come, I get down to Baltimore. Now, it's havoc. That shit is havoc. New York niggas catching problems in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shout out to them niggas in B-More that's on here now. If you got, y'all niggas can vouch and know what's up. I was in there 9-8, and it was havoc for New York niggas. I'm not gonna lie. It was havoc. And honestly, only way I got by was my mail and the shorties that was coming through visiting me. You feel me? They, niggas start seeing, yo, okay, my mail saying North Carolina. These chicks coming up here with crazy accents and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they was calling me NC, right? And I was going with that. You feel me? And I was going with that, yeah, because I was showing them pictures and shit from Bike Week, this, that, and there. Knowing you got pictures and ass and shorties coming through, niggas got a different perspective about you. But I see what they was doing in New York, niggas, man. We was outnumbered in there, and that's just Baltimore for you. That was that shit going on down in there. So meanwhile, right, while I'm in there, okay, I don't know where the hell Emery was. Dead ass. I can't tell you where he was at that time. I know me and Big Ty was in city jail. Shout out Big Ty, man. Much love. I can't wait to talk about your story, man. But I definitely want to have consent, cause you're like Ty's like Emery and Ty would be like me and Jay. Only difference is, two different places. And when I say me and Jay, because Emery did the same thing to Ty as I feel like Jay did to me, straight up like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just my perspective. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gonna speak on it no more unless I got consent from Ty. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. He's a good dude, real good guy. Made tons of fucking money with him. You feel me? Tons. So I ain't see Emery, so I'm in there the whole time. Now I'm starting to do these bail, now I get to go see the judge and see what's up with this bail shit now, right? So first bond hearing, denied. Straight like that, denied. Before I got to my second bond hearing, I already hear Emery on the street. Straight like that. By the time I got to my second bond hearing, Emery was on the street. I don't know how that shit. He, private lawyer, all that shit. He done what he's supposed to do, I guess. Or Jay done what he's supposed to do for him. Whatever the situation is, but Emery's out of there. My second bond hearing, denied. You know what I'm saying? Denied. I mean, no bail, nothing. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are y'all holding me and shit? And I'm telling you, third bail hearing coming up. Dead up. So I'm going to another bail hearing and shit. And I'm telling you when I'm going to court, for this bail hearing, by the time the third bail hearing comes, the judge is already stressing it. Like, yo, why do you want me to hold Mr. Irby? What am I holding him for? This is his third bail hearing here, and you don't have, he told the state's attorneys that you don't have no more evidence than what you had when he first came. All you have is 6, 7 confidential informants. That's all you have is people telling on him. You don't, what do you have to make him so I can make him stay here on a bail, with no bail? Like, you're not giving me nothing. And she's steady like, no, please don't let him go. He's the top. He's the main guy. He's responsible for 85% of the cocaine that comes on the Eastern Shore, Your Honor. Please, he's the head of the, she begging him. She like, listen, I'm going to deny this bail again. And when we come back in next time, you're going to have some. Cool. Now, this next time coming around, right? Boom, they give me a bail. Right? They give me a bail, and I'm getting eligible for a home monitor if I make bail and get out. All that shit gonna come together. So now I need bail. Now I can get to call Jay. Now I'm gonna call. Now let me see how I'm, So I'm telling my shorty, yo, get at him now. You know what I'm saying? Tell him I need some help. Woo, woo, woo. That shit was a no-go. That shit was straight a no-go and disrespectful. That nigga had my shorty chasing him around. And if any of the fuck niggas that was around him listening to this, you probably was there and you seen this shit. You know what I'm saying? To where my moms, I want to say Mama Love and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Chasing this nigga around to get a conversation and say, yo, my son need help. And it wasn't about the money. It's just that I couldn't show what I had first, you know what I'm saying? To get out of this situation. Could have got his money back or whatever I needed, woo, whatever. But the fact of the matter, I needed him on deck. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like a sky, I don't know if they gave me a $250,000 bail, $150,000, something light. So, this is my word. About time my shorty run him down. I want to say, man, quote, I want to say, she said the fact of something like, yo, I finally got to run him down. I don't know if this nigga had a show or wherever he was at, he was in a hotel room with a bunch of fucking niggas around him. You feel me? And he gave her a couple of dollars for some bail money for me. When I say couple, I mean short money. Like, beat it, get out of here money. Dead ass, disrespectful. Dead ass. To a point where my shorty was like, I never want to deal with them bitch ass niggas again. Ever. All of them. Any of them. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit, this nigga really played me like this? Okay. So I get around all that shit. Because if you hear the music, that nigga said he got me a lawyer. He got me a lawyer, and the lawyer told him I was talking reckless. That I was on some sneaky shit.
When I reach the phone, he's talking reckless. I can sense the seat in his tone. I said, damn, dog, what? Now I'm reaching your home? He said, main man, you think shit sweet cause you're home. I just sat.
Where was that at? That nigga never got me no lawyer. I went to court. About time I went to court with a legal beagle, a court appointed, because I knew I wasn't going to waste no money because they didn't have nothing on me, and they just didn't have shit for me to be paying a lawyer, especially the fuck lawyer I had that was trying to get me to cop the 20 years. So I wasn't doing that neither. So the fact of the matter, he said he got me a lawyer and he talked to me on the phone and it was reckless. None of that shit. The fact that the worst part of it was I talked to his mom on the phone and only said that I just needed to talk to Jay. And then word was on the street that I called this nigga and I was talking reckless, and his mom told me, his mom said that. Technically, because nobody knew I talked to her. So how the fuck people knew on the street that I called to his moms and they talking about, yo, this nigga's a rat, he calling this nigga ooh ooh. Where the fuck did that leak come from? If I only talk to your moms. So that shit he's saying in record, and this is during all the time that this going on. And I'm like, really? So that all week ago shit, that's natural. It was all the week, what could happen in a week. There wasn't no stress or nothing, but that's what happened in the week. But this shit he put on record, straight lies. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't home in no 9 weeks. You know what I'm saying? All of this, I'm just telling you that he's been telling the story from the beginning, and these are his words. You know what I mean? I had all my shit tight, bro. So as I'm on the street with a home monitor, now I get out on bail, And y'all know the next situation after that. The next situation after that is I don't get to see him until Greensboro. And we already talked about the Greensboro situation when you see me on the stage with him on that MTV shit. And we, you know what I mean? Because I had to go to him. I'm quite sure you guys read that story. I had to go. I met him in Greensboro, and this nigga looked me in my face. Then now I'm out on bail. He looked me in my face and still said, "Yo, don't worry about it. I got you, dog." You understand? He said, "Don't worry, I got you, dog." We in 2020 now, and I ain't seen that nigga yet. You feel me? So from the time back then to now, it's so much more in the music that I'm gonna let y'all listen to. That now shit gonna start to make sense. But you have to watch Marcy Made to understand a whole other part of the story. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the vital part that's missing. That if you guys ain't seen that, y'all just really watching, y'all really listening to the story from about 60% in. You know what I'm saying? From the time 98, he's gonna keep making that music and he's gonna keep talking about the situation. But it's just coming from him and they all lies. So that's how this whole shit started with It Was All Good a week ago. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about from the time they picked me up and the time I went in there and this and that. And this nigga is making music about it, trying to make it seem like I'm the guy. All this Fed shit and rat shit and all this, it's so crazy because look at the position he in now. Look who is the president and CEO of Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, this is the shit that I be trying to speak about. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to stop talking and let the music talk. Because a lot of people keep saying, yo, you doing the same thing, woo, woo. But okay, I'm going to let it come out through the music. Because it's been there the whole time. And I thought this right here was the most disrespectful shit. And mind you, I still went to go see the nigga in Greensboro. Still asked for some help. Still. And the nigga still curved me. You know what I'm saying? So a nigga can't tell me that the niggas ain't put the betrayal down early on. You get what I'm saying? And through this whole situation, like I said, Emery was my co-defendant. And he got out first. You know what I'm saying? All this shit gonna make sense. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear the song It Was All Good just a week ago, you know what I mean? The lyrics and shit is dope. You know what I mean? If someone been in that situation and they can relate. But as far as that shit standing for me, that was to me, nah. That was lies. That was lies on me. That was a total disrespect on every level. But I still let it ride. You feel what I'm saying? I still let it ride. So that's the story behind It Was All Good just a week ago.
What's up, y'all? This is Master P, and I just want to let y'all know, go to nightanddaynetmarket.com and get yourself some product. They're a black-owned company. They got everything from t-shirts to hoodies to shoes to jewelry to hair care products.